So you just inherited a coin collection and you know it's valuable, but you have no clue about coin collecting, and you're thinking to yourself, I want to sell this coin collection, but I don't want to get ripped off. Well, keep watching this video because I'm going to show you everything you need to know in order to make the best deal possible. Hello everybody, Silverpicker here, and today's video is all about how to sell that coin collection you inherited. Yeah, you know, the one that you inherited from your grandfather in that coffee can and that milk jug in that shoebox. You know, the one that he said was worth a lot of money, but what does a lot of money mean? Is it 50 bucks? 500 bucks? $5,000? $5 million? You know, the one that you've put off selling for so long because you know that anybody who you try and sell it to is probably going to rip you off? Yeah, that one. Well, worry no more, because in today's video, I am going to tell you everything you need to consider before you decide to sell that collection, and I'm going to give you some tips along the way about how you can maximize the price and maximize your efficiency when going through it. Now, if you're excited for today's video just because you love watching videos that actually teach you something, then you should definitely try out Skillshare, the sponsor of today's video. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for curious and creative people like me and you on all things creative. One of my goals for New Year's is to make my videos technically better. I bought a new camera, I bought new lighting, but it's the skills that are really what's going to take it to the next level, and I am already learning so much on Skillshare. They have classes for video creation on everything from editing to lighting to cinematography and everything in between, and if one of your New Year's resolutions is to start doing something creative, to start creating content of any kind, then you should definitely start with taking some Skillshare classes. I've already taken about a dozen classes on Skillshare, but right now I'm focusing on video lighting, and that's why I'm taking Dan Liu's class, Film Lighting Made Simple, and it is a godsend. I've already learned so much about how lighting can actually influence the mood of your video, and also how you can use lots of really cool effects to really enhance your videos. See? Hope they don't catch me. One of the really nice things about Skillshare is that since it's a platform dedicated to learning, unlike some other platforms, there are no ads. And guess what? It's less than 10 bucks a month to sign up for Skillshare. Now that you're about to sell this coin collection and make all this money, you can finally stop putting off all that creative stuff that you've wanted to start creating and finally start learning on Skillshare. Most of Skillshare's classes are self-paced, and I actually prefer that because I love watching these classes at 2x speed. Yes, it's phenomenal that you can do that, so you can learn twice as fast. But if you prefer being in real time with the teachers and the other members so you can interact with all of them all live while it's actually happening, Skillshare has now also introduced some live classes as well, so there's really something for everyone's learning style. So you want to try Skillshare, but you're a little bit unsure? Well, I've got great news, because the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click on the link in the description box below will get a free trial of premium membership, and you can explore your creativity absolutely risk-free. I highly recommend you try it. Like I said, I've already done over a dozen classes, and it is amazing. You won't regret it. Plus, now you've got one more great reason to subscribe to my channel. So if you haven't already, hit that big old red subscribe button. Anyway, let's get back to that coin collection that you inherited. Now, before we start and get into the nitty-gritty, I'm going to issue a warning to each and every one of you. If you just got that big old dusty box of coins that your grandfather left you, and you've got them sitting in front of you, do not clean them. Do not clean your coins under no circumstances whatsoever, period. Now, I know that you just listened to me say that and you're thinking to yourself, well, I could just spruce them up a little bit, right? A little polish here, maybe a little rinse with some water there. No one will notice. Yes, they will. Collectors can tell even if you can't, and guess what? Cleaning your coins can destroy literally up to 99% of the value that those coins have. That's right, you could have a coin that was worth $100, you clean it, and now it's worth $1. I'm not even joking, I'm not exaggerating. So fight that instinct and do not clean your coins, period. Okay, so now that we got the warning out of the way, let's get started. The first thing that you need to do when you have inherited a coin collection is you need to make a decision that's going to be unique for every single person watching. And that is, where do you fall on the time-money spectrum? Now, what is the time-money spectrum, right? The time-money spectrum is a spectrum of options that maximize the amount of money that you're going to get at one end while minimizing the amount of time you spend going through the collection on the other end. And of course, you need to figure this out with your family if you're not the sole heir, but assuming you're in charge or you're the sole heir, you need to decide whether you want to minimize the amount of time it takes to deal with all this, or to maximize the profits and squeeze every single penny you can of value out of this collection. Now, the majority of this video is going to be about that money end of the spectrum, because that's where the really interesting decisions come into play. Because think about it, if you're interested in maximizing your efficiency and just making the easiest amount of money in the least amount of time, it's simple. You just find a trustworthy, reliable dealer and sell them your collection. It's as easy as that. Now, here's an opportunity for me to have a shameless plug. Well, if you don't have a good, reliable, trustworthy dealer that you know of, you are more than welcome to send me your collection and I will buy it from you. I buy coin collections all the time from all over the world, and it's really that simple. You send me your collection, I go through with a fine-tooth comb, I send you a spreadsheet back with each coin listed, I tell you the market value, meaning what you could sell it for individually if you wanted to do that, and then my offer. Typically I offer between 75 and 85% of the market value of the collection. No, not the face value. That doesn't mean I'm giving you $7.50 for a $10 bill. No, it means if you have a $1 coin worth $10, I will pay you $7.50 to $8.50 for that item. So if you're interested in taking that easy time efficiency route, then you're welcome to email me at thesilverpicker@gmail.com or on Instagram at thesilverpicker, and I'd be happy to help you out with that. But if you are interested in putting in the legwork and selling each coin individually for the maximum you can, well, continue watching because I'm going to show you exactly what you need to consider. So the first step to valuing a collection is you need to sort it. You need to organize it. Now, I did a really comprehensive video on how to organize a big collection of coins in last week's video, and you can check it out in the card over here if you missed it. But essentially, the basics are you're going to separate it by country and then by denomination. Since most of my purchasing is very American-centric, the way I do it is I first separate all the American coins to one side and all the rest of the world coins to the other side. Then I take a look at the American coins and sort them by denomination from penny through dollar coin, and then I continue doing the same thing with the other world coins, except I don't go into that granular detail. I just separate them by country. Then, once I've sorted all the loose coins, I take all the collector's sets, the commemoratives, the graded coins, the banknotes, and I put those all separately because those I save till the end. Now, I should point out at this point, if you are totally new to the coin collecting world and there are words, phrases, or jargon that I'm using that you don't understand, drop a comment below and ask. Either I or one of the other viewers who's a coin collecting pro will happily explain it to you so that you're not lost. And if you have to rewatch the video, that's great because it'll help you learn more and more and more, and it's great for the YouTube algorithm. So now that you've got all your coins sorted by country and denomination, the easy part is done. Now the actual heavy lifting, the valuation. I'm going to tell you basically the theory behind the valuation, and then I'm going to explain a few more specifics and give you some resources that you can use to figure out the exact value of your own collection. So the value of a coin is based on 4 key factors. The metal the coin is composed of, right? Typically a gold coin is going to be worth more than a zinc or copper coin. The denomination of a coin, so its face value, which often also corresponds with its size. So obviously a large silver dollar is going to be worth more than a tiny copper penny. The rarity of a coin, which can really be broken down into 2 categories, right? So one is the fewer coins that were actually produced, the rarer it is, meaning a coin where there were only a few thousand produced will likely be considered more rare and more valuable than the same type of coin from a different year where millions were produced. But then also on the flip side, sometimes many coins were produced, but over the years they were destroyed. So the existing coins that are still left, those ones are going to be worth a lot. So for example, in 2011, literally millions and millions and millions of silver dollars were melted because the price of silver had gotten so high. So all the coins that are still left around, even though they were produced in the millions, many of those have been destroyed, so the ones remaining are worth a lot more and are considered a lot more rare. And most important is condition. Condition is king. That's right, literally a 1-cent coin in perfect mint condition can be worth far more than a $20 gold coin that's in kind of ratty shape. For example, this perfect mint state 70 1-cent coin from 2005 sold for $660 more than this $20 gold piece from 1923. Now, in addition to those 4 pretty much objective criteria, I'd also add popularity as a 5th item. And the reason is because there are just some coins that are more popular with collectors than others. For example, Morgan silver dollars are highly collectible, and the premium reflects that demand. There are other coins from other countries that have the same silver content, that are also big and chunky from that same era, that don't command even close to the same premium, and it's simply just because there are fewer collectors out there that are interested. So you definitely also need to take popularity into account when you're deciding the value of a coin. Alright, we're making some pretty good progress, right? You've already sorted the collection, you already know the criteria to figure out what actually makes a coin valuable. Now all you need to do is apply those theories to the actual coins you have, and right now we're going to go by criteria, and I'm going to show you free resources that you can use to help you figure out the exact value of your specific coins. So let's start with the composition. What are your coins made out of? Are they rare, expensive gold and silver? Or are they cheap zinc or aluminum? Now, I'll give you a cheat code for US coins that will make it so easy for you. All you have to know is that every single US coin, dimes, quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins, so those denominations, any US coin minted in 1964 or earlier is all composed of 90% silver. There are a couple of exceptions. The popular ones include half dollars from 1965 to 1970 are 40% silver, and nickels, called war nickels, from 1942 to 1945 are 35% silver. There are some other exceptions, but for the most part, those are the numbers that you need to remember, and it will make sorting your coins so much easier. World coins is much trickier business because there are so many different countries, and all of them have different compositions of metals, different amounts of silver. Sometimes even within a given country, they change the amount of silver in a specific coin or changed it from silver to cupro nickel or some other material. So you really need to do your research. So there are 2 really great resources that I use for figuring out the composition of my world coins. The single easiest way to determine any details about your foreign coins is to use the Coinoscope app. I actually did a video on it a couple weeks ago, and you can check it out here if you missed it, and that'll give you a full tutorial and show you the full range of its abilities. But basically, in a nutshell, all you do is you open up the Coinoscope app, you turn it on, and you take a picture of the coin, and it identifies it. You don't have to be able to read the writing on it, so if you don't read Chinese, or you don't read Russian, or you don't read Arabic, you can still figure out what coin that is, what country it's from, and then it'll give you resources online that you can just click the link and learn everything you could possibly want to know about that coin. And I use that all the time. However, if you decide that you want to take the longer route, or you prefer typing in a bunch of text unnecessarily into Google, you can do that too. And that I would recommend Numista. Numista is actually an amazing website, and I use it all the time as well. I'm being a little facetious when I'm saying you're spending all this time, but sometimes if the app doesn't find the coin that you're looking for, or you know the coin's information, you just want to type it in, all you have to do is go to Google and type that information in with the word Numista. For instance, I'll type Philippines, 50 centavos, 1944, and then the word Numista, hit enter, and it will find exactly what you're looking for, and you can see all the specs, everything from the metal composition, in this case it's silver, all the way to the diameter of the coin, the thickness, and everything else you could possibly want to know about it. Numista truly is amazing, but if you want to save yourself the time and headache, use the danged app! Now that you've identified the coin, you know the denomination, you know the metal content, now you need to figure out how rare it is. The rarest type of any given coin is typically called a key date because it's the last date, it's the key date that people need to finish their collections, and that correlates usually to the rarest one. So you're going to want to look up a list of key dates for the coins, but also there are common varieties. Varieties are little distinctions, little variations on a given coin based on the particular die that was used to stamp that coin when it was created during its production process. And there are variety collectors out there that will pay big bucks for something that to you, as sort of just a layman who doesn't know much about coins, you might just see a tiny little line protruding from, let's say Abraham Lincoln's nose on a Lincoln wheat cent, and that coin could actually be worth big bucks to the right collector. So don't discount varieties. Honestly, the easiest way to determine whether or not you have a key date is to simply go into Google, type in the country, the type of coin, and the words key dates or varieties, and hit enter. For example, if I type in US Morgan Silver Dollar key dates, I will get a plethora of resources listing all the different key dates. So if I click on this one, I can look through and see if any of the ones that I have are winners. Now, it's important to note that it's not just the date, but it's also the mint mark. The mint mark is a little letter that is on most coins in the US for sure, and in many other countries that tells you which particular mint or coin production facility within that country the coin was minted at. For example, in the United States, there have been many mints over the years, including Denver, Philadelphia, and San Francisco, which are the most common, but also the rarest, the Carson City Mint in Nevada. So you want to look out for the mint marks in addition to the dates. Now, if you're looking up key dates for more obscure coins and there isn't a handy pre-made list, well, what you can do is you can actually just look up the mintage numbers and figure it out for yourself. For example, I can Google Canadian 50-cent mintage numbers and I'll find a resource that has all of the different numbers for every single 50-cent coin Canada produced for every single year. And here you can see that the one produced in 1977 is far rarer with only 700,000 pieces produced than the 1965 version with over 12 million. So everything seems pretty simple up to this point, right? If you're feeling confident, good. But I don't want to burst your bubble. The two hardest parts are popularity and condition. It really takes time and effort to understand the popularity of a coin. You really need to be part of the coin collecting community to sort of absorb it from the conversations in the forums, see what people are buying, see what people are selling, go to coin shows. It's really not so simple to just find a resource that will tell you what coin is hot right now and what coin has sort of cooled down from collectors' perspectives. So you really can't learn popularity just from a video like this. But condition is even harder. Unfortunately, it really does take years and years and years of practice and being really into the hobby and dedicated to it to get a really good handle on grading coins. Even though there is an objective scale from 1 to 70, 1 being the most poorly graded coin there is, and 70 being an absolute perfect specimen, it is objective, but it's still really hard to figure out where the exact lines are drawn with a given coin. Now, even though that's the case, it's not all lost. There is still a lot you can do on your own. First off, if you have a coin that you think is in particularly good condition and it's rare and you think it's worth a lot of money, you can definitely snap a good clear picture of it and send it to a coin dealer that you know, or send it to me. I gave you my email, it's thesilverpicker@gmail.com, or on Instagram @thesilverpicker, and you can send it to me or any of these other dealers and they'd be happy to help. I know I would. But you can also learn to get a sense of sort of what area the grade is in. You're not going to be able to tell just from your first try the difference between a mint state 66 coin and a mint state 67 coin, but you can probably get a good sense of whether the coin is in about uncirculated condition, extremely fine condition, good condition, or poor condition. And those are the things that you can use online resources for free to figure out on your own. Plus, having a ballpark idea of what the condition of your coin is still a really good step in figuring out what the actual value is going to be. Now again, if you have a big collection of US coins, it's going to be a lot easier, and there is an amazing resource called PCGS PhotoGrade. PCGS is one of the biggest coin grading companies in the world, and they have actually put together a photo guide of every single US coin in practically every single grade that it exists. So you can take your coin, your Morgan Silver Dollar for instance, click on the Morgan Silver Dollar section of the PCGS PhotoGrade library and literally compare your coin, the details of the hair, the words, the rim, all the different elements of the coin you can compare to the pictures on the screen and figure out more or less what the grade of that coin is. For world coins, it's definitely much trickier, but what I would recommend is searching online for that particular coin. Go on eBay or go on WorthPoint if you have a subscription, or go on Heritage Auctions and look for graded examples, meaning coins that have been put in a grading holder, encapsulated, where it says the actual grade of the coin, and it has been done by a professional grading service like PCGS, NGC, or Annex. and you can compare your coin to the coin that's in that holder. If your coin is in much better condition than the one in the holder, then you know that your coin has a better grade than what is ever marked on that coin. If your coin is in worse condition, you know that your coin is going to be a lower grade. And you can try and sort of triangulate where your coin would fall if you can find a few different examples online. That's the best advice I can give. Otherwise, send a picture to your local friendly coin dealer and ask their opinion. So by now, if you're not exhausted and you're not totally worn out and you still want to continue on and you still want to sell the coins on your own, then now you need to figure out how to actually apply all those different pieces of information that you've just researched into figuring out the actual value of the coin. And simply the best resource in the world to do that is eBay. Yes, simple old eBay, the eBay that everybody's familiar with. There is actually a feature called sold listings. Because right, if you search for something, right, you search for, let's say, your Morgan silver dollar from 1865 in XF condition, right? You do your search and you're gonna find people asking absurd amounts of money. Somebody might ask $100, somebody might ask $10,000. The fact that they're asking for that amount of money doesn't mean that the coin is worth that. You need to see what people actually paid for in the past, and it's super easy to do. All you do is you do that search, and then you scroll down on the left and make sure to tick the box that says sold listings. Is this method foolproof? No, because sometimes on particularly rare or obscure coins, you're not gonna have a lot of sale data, but for like 90% of the coins that you're gonna encounter, there's gonna be lots and lots of eBay sold listing data that you can sort of use to figure out where your coin fits in that pricing scheme. Plus, even if there's a really wide range of prices, when it comes time to sell, you can put it as an auction, and this way you can let customers fight over the price, and if it truly is more valuable than you initially anticipated, your buyers will figure that out and they will bid against each other and the price will go up and up and up. That's the best way actually to sell something, whether it's a coin or anything. If you don't know the price, and you know that it's a big range, it could be worth $100 or it could be worth $1,000, you definitely want to sell it on auction settings because then the market will dictate the price, and that is the best way to actually tell the true price of any item. Now remember when I told you to put aside all those odds and ends, the commemorative coins, the collector's sets, the banknotes, all that other stuff? Now you can use the skills that you just learned about eBay sold listings to look all of those up. The easiest way to find those kind of specific collectible coins and banknotes and other stuff like that is to simply use the eBay sold listing method, find what they have that matches what you have, and you'll know the price. It's really as easy as that. So now you really have all the information you need to sell your coins individually and maximize every single dollar you get out of those coins. No, this video is not going to turn you into an expert coin collector. You're not going to have all the answers, but what this video should do is shift the balance of power between you and the buyer, right? Any buyer of a coin collection or of individual coins is likely going to be a coin collector or investor or speculator, and they're going to know a lot more than the average person about coins. And if you are an average person, so to speak, who has inherited a coin collection, now after watching this video and applying the methods that I've taught you, you can sort of change that balance of power to where it was they know everything and you know nothing, to they know everything and you know, let's say 75% more than you did before. So will you know every little detail? No, but you're gonna be much better equipped to know whether you're getting a good deal or whether you're getting ripped off. So I'm really curious to know who is watching this video. If you are somebody that inherited a coin collection and this video has helped you, please let me know in the comments below. I would be really curious to find out. If you are a coin collector or a coin dealer or a coin buyer, anyone in the world of numismatics, and you think I either missed something or there's something that you would do differently, please let me know in the comments as well, because I want to learn from you and I'm sure everyone else watching would be happy to learn from you as well. So to finish things up, I'd like to bring it back full circle and end where we started, with the question of where do you fit on that spectrum between efficiency, minimizing the amount of time you need to invest in this whole endeavor, and maximizing the amount of money you can make. And I want to point out that there is no place on that spectrum that is inherently better than the other. Whether you fall on the far end of the time spectrum or the far end of the money end of the spectrum or anywhere in between, it's all based on your own personal choices, your own personal philosophy, and your own personal life situation. There is no one that's better than the other, it's just what works for you. And I highly recommend that you spend some time thinking about that question, where you fall in the line, and the rest will come naturally and you'll figure out exactly what you need to do. So, if you enjoyed this video or learned something from it, I would really appreciate if you'd consider hitting the like button and sharing it on social media. I make videos every single week about coin collecting, precious metals investing, and even personal finance, how to make a little bit of extra money on your own terms. And if you like that kind of stuff, please consider hitting that big old red subscribe button and the little bell next to it so you don't miss a beat. Like I said, I got a lot more awesome stuff coming down the pike, so stay tuned, and until then, Silver Picker out. A huge thank you to all of my wonderful patrons. You guys are amazing. This past year, getting to know you all in the Discord server has been absolutely amazing. If there are any of you watching that want to join the Discord server but haven't yet, please do so by supporting my Patreon campaign in the links below.